You are correct in noting that 2024 will be a highly unbalanced year, as it marks a transition period during which Jeep is ramping up its push towards electrification. Jeep CEO Antonio Filosa recently introduced a revolutionary engine that could significantly disrupt the automotive industry, impacting both traditional internal combustion engines, ICE, and the fast-growing electric vehicle, EV, sector. With the global focus shifting towards sustainability and reducing emissions, Jeep's latest development arrives at a critical moment when EVs are seen as the future of transportation. Filosa, however, suggested that this new engine might not only slow the momentum of the EV sector but also redefine the future of driving itself. The announcement, made during a highly anticipated event, was more than just a technical presentation. Filosa confidently claimed that Jeep had created a game-changing engine that could reshape the narrative around vehicle propulsion. While many carmakers are moving quickly toward electric mobility, Jeep's innovation hinted that the future might not be a simple divide between electric and gasoline-powered cars. Instead, the new engine could blend the strengths of both, avoiding their respective weaknesses. Hey, if you're enjoying this so far, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more content like this. Filosa's vision for the new engine is centered on achieving balance. Rather than rushing into full electrification, Jeep aims to address existing challenges in the EV space, such as charging infrastructure, limited battery range, and the environmental toll of battery production. Jeep's new engine is said to offer the fuel efficiency and eco-friendliness demanded by today's consumers, while still delivering the power, performance, and off-road capabilities that have long defined the brand. This move signals that Jeep intends to remain a dominant player in the automotive landscape, but it also raises questions about the future of the EV market. For years, the EV industry has been seen as the inevitable successor to internal combustion engines. Companies like Tesla have built their entire business models around this assumption, while traditional manufacturers such as Ford and General Motors have begun transitioning to electric vehicle production at an accelerated pace. Governments around the world are offering incentives to encourage the switch to EVs, and many cities are planning to phase out gasoline-powered cars altogether in the coming decades. Yet Jeep's new engine complicates this straightforward narrative by offering a potential alternative to full electrification. Jeep may have presented a third option that could slow the momentum of the EV revolution. The core of Filosa's announcement centered around the advanced technology embedded in Jeep's new engine. Without revealing all the intricate details, he highlighted its efficiency, durability, and ability to reduce emissions without the need for an electric powertrain. This represents a major leap forward in engine design, signaling that internal combustion technology may have more room for evolution than previously thought. For an automaker like Jeep, which has built its brand around rugged off-road vehicles, this development could ensure that they maintain a distinct identity in a market increasingly dominated by sleek, urban-centric EVs. One of the major criticisms of electric vehicles is their dependence on battery technology, which has been evolving but is still not without its drawbacks. Batteries degrade over time, they are expensive to produce, and their environmental impact due to mining and disposal remains a concern. Charging infrastructure, while improving, is still inconsistent across many regions, particularly in rural and remote areas, which limits the appeal of EVs for long travelers or off-road enthusiasts. Filosa seemed to position Jeep's new engine as a direct response to these challenges. By refining internal combustion technology, Jeep could continue to provide a reliable, powerful, and efficient vehicle that doesn't rely on an evolving infrastructure or unproven battery technologies. This approach is particularly important to Jeep's core customer base, which includes adventurers, off-road enthusiasts, and people who depend on their vehicles for tough terrain and long drives. These customers may be less willing to adopt electric vehicles due to concerns about range anxiety, the ability to charge in remote locations, and the overall capability of electric trucks and SUVs in demanding environments. By offering an advanced engine that addresses environmental concerns while preserving the attributes that make Jeep vehicles so popular, Filosa is positioning the brand to meet the needs of its most loyal customers while attracting new ones who may be hesitant about fully committing to an electric vehicle. Jeep's move could also have broader implications for the automotive industry as a whole. If the new engine lives up to Filosa's claims, it could inspire other manufacturers to reconsider their approach to engine development. While some automakers have already declared that they will transition to an all-electric fleet in the near future, others may look to Jeep's innovation as evidence that internal combustion engines still have untapped potential. This could slow the industry-wide shift toward electrification and lead to a more gradual hybrid approach, where advanced internal combustion engines and electric vehicles coexist for longer than initially anticipated. The implications for the EV industry are significant. Electric vehicle manufacturers have largely operated on the assumption that the future is theirs, with demand for traditional internal combustion engines expected to diminish rapidly over the coming years. Jeep's new engine introduces a variable that wasn't accounted for in many of these projections. If consumers respond positively to Jeep's offering, it could reduce the perceived urgency of switching to electric vehicles, particularly in markets where charging infrastructure is still being developed or where consumers have concerns about the practicality of EVs for certain lifestyles. Moreover, Jeep's announcement could force EV manufacturers to innovate even faster. If internal combustion engines can be made more efficient and environmentally friendly, the competition between electric and gasoline-powered vehicles will intensify. Vehicles may become fiercer than expected. Electric vehicle makers will need to continue improving battery technology, reducing costs, and expanding the charging network to stay ahead of the curve. Additionally, the focus on sustainability and reducing emissions may push automakers to explore alternative energy sources beyond batteries and gasoline, such as hydrogen or synthetic fuels, leading to a more diverse array of technologies in the market. Another aspect to consider is the regulatory environment. Many governments are enacting stricter emission standards and offering incentives for electric vehicles in an effort to combat climate change. Jeep's new engine, if it truly offers significant reductions in emissions, could complicate these efforts. While governments may prefer to encourage the adoption of electric vehicles, they could be swayed by a technology that offers similar environmental benefits without requiring a complete overhaul of the current fueling infrastructure. This could lead to new regulatory debates about whether advanced internal combustion engines should be given the same incentives as electric vehicles, potentially reshaping policy decisions in key markets. At the same time, Jeep's announcement could reinvigorate discussions about the future of fuel sources. While the world has been moving toward electrification, there are still concerns about the sustainability of lithium-ion batteries and the availability of the raw materials needed to produce them. Jeep's new engine could spark renewed interest in alternative fuels such as biofuels or hydrogen, which could be used in conjunction with advanced internal combustion engines to further reduce emissions. This would introduce yet another variable into the conversation about the future of transportation